In this vlog of me exploring Wieliczka salt mine, you're gonna find me becoming an urban explorer. And you can see some budgeting local artists getting very lost in absolute darkness, and also licking a wall of salt and having very unexpected reactions. Oh my god, it's so salty. So what are you waiting for? Click the like button down beneath and let's try not to get too salty.
The next day.
Another beautiful day here in Krakow, and today I'm heading to the famous salt mines just in the suburbs of the city. I heard that it is very different from the one I have seen in Bogota in Colombia, so I'm looking forward to check it out. Yeah, let's go check it out actually, right now. Welcome to the central square. It's a nice little quaint piece of land that's not really full of tourists, in this season at least. On this quiet Tuesday afternoon, I think I got the entire place for myself. Look at this 3D art. Yeah, it's like, I think it's right here. Right, and down here is the City Hall and the Cultural Palace. On the other side, yeah, right there. And here it has a big sign. I love Wieliczka. Oh, I'm not climbing to the upper part of the town, or should I say a village, because yeah, once you leave the main square, just 3-4 minutes to walk away, it's just fields and then little streets, and that's it. Yeah, sporadic houses, lots of them abandoned, and of course some of the youths doing the Slavic squat. And look what's in front of me. Just abandoned house full of graffiti. Look at this trailer tipped over. It apparently even has a basement of sorts. Oh yeah. That would be a nice place for a second date. And you can see some budgeting local artists. If someone wants to get them on Snapchat. What's inside? Whew. Oh yeah, you can see this is a youth playground. Kind of milling machine. There's even stairs. Ooh. Yep, definitely want to come back here at night. Wow. Walking around here, I've never been stared at more during my travels in Europe before. Like everyone's looking at me, and then people are like driving cars and they're slowing down, just like roll down the windows, just like, right? It's really interesting. There are even an old man approaching me and started asking me a question. But sadly, I just don't know Polish and can't answer them. But yeah, whew. All of these walking up a hill and down the hill has got me really worked up. I gotta go eat something. I'm starving. Oh, look, it's right in the front. I guess it's time to go down here, there, and actually go eat something, huh? Holy moly, I mean, look at this. It's so big. Oh, the drink even has a little bowl. Yeah. Loaded. And after lunch, it is finally high time to see why Wieliczka salt mine is another claim to worldwide fame for the Polish nation. I arrived at the famous mine shaft and joined the tour to explore this UNESCO World Heritage Site. But first, we need to get down there. And I mean way down there. Oh my god, it's 378 steps down. And then they told me that throughout the tour, it will be 400 more. Yeah, not exactly the most comfortable tour, especially if you have knee problems. Jesus Christ, look at that. You can't even see the bottom of it. After seemingly forever, I finally descended down to the bottom of this mine shaft. And I quickly realized that every single thing is made of salt. The walls are made of salt, the ceiling is made of salt, some tables are made of salt, some chairs for you to sit on is also made of salt, every single display plaque is made of salt. Hell, even the floor itself is made of salt, and the only thing not made of salt are these support columns. These are traditionally used to support the weight of the mountain above, so that the mine shaft does not collapse. But since the entire area is so dry as the salt absorbs every single molecule of moisture in the air here, compounded by the fact that the air down here is so dense, that if you have asthma up there in the surface, you will be perfectly fine for the rest of your life given the fact that you do not leave this mine. And also these long tube-like structure meandering through thousands upon thousands of chambers underground can create winds that can rival typhoons if the control doors are not properly closed. So the result is that smoking and anything that can create any spark is completely prohibited here in the mine. However, there is one unusual thing that is allowed. It is that if you are able to lick anything, you are permitted to lick it. You know what? I gotta do it. Oh my god, it's so salty. Shocker. The sharpest tool in the shed. In this hallway, they say the Copernicus was one of the first visitors to this place. And they carved it in 1979 as a 500-year commemoration of his birth. And this is completely made of salt. Besides the scientist, there are a lot of other statues that are also carved into these bedrocks, such as this light show of the origin of the salt mine, as a Hungarian princess married to a prince here in Poland managed to discover a vein of salt going all the way down for thousands upon thousands of meters. Or perhaps you would like a reminder of Casimir the Great, who greatly expanded the operation here in the salt mine. Yes, this place has been in operation for almost 1 millennia. And back in the days, the workers had to physically carry every single chunk of 35 kilograms of salt all the way up from the bottom of the pit, using these dangerously steep stairs carved into the salt that you can see right here. And just to give you a sense of how big these chambers are, these places can fit entire Empire State buildings with much room to spare. And while there are a lot of man-made statues, this salt spaghetti and salt stalagmite is a work of nature. And this is because even though all of the moisture has been sucked out of the air by the salt, the ground aquifer formed a brine-filled river that flows underneath all of these chambers. In fact, this mine system made of thousands upon thousands of rooms have an intricate system of saltwater brine that functions almost like a normal river system. And here you can see a large brine deposit that is almost like a lake, except the fact that it is now still being used as the most efficient way to extract salt from the rocks, as there are still miners hundreds of meters below me working hard to extract these salt white crystals from the ground. And there is even a river system that connects a lot of the underwater chambers. But sadly these days you are not allowed to take a joyride as it was in the 1940s, as a very tragic incident happened here to a bunch of Austrian soldiers. As they got excited, they started dancing on their little boat, and it quickly capsized, trapping them underneath the hull of the boat. However, this uncomfortable dilemma that is normally extremely easy to resolve by diving down and simply emerge on the other side of the hull is not that easily accomplished here. The boat was too heavy to be lifted up, but the water was too buoyant that nobody could dive down into the water, so it became a virtual death trap. and all of the soldiers perished after the pocket of air ran out. But in most of the scenarios, the water would form really interesting phenomena that you cannot see anywhere else, such as this phenomenon that they call cauliflowers, as salt crystal grows on top of each other and form a very dense and very heavy bloom. Or if you take a look of this ladder that has been running through the brine for too long, that the salt slowly starts to crystallize on top of it, eventually forming a salt ladder. But the most impressive thing has to be this salt cathedral. This gigantic chamber that has been depleted of mineable salt was slowly converted into a fully functional church by 3 miners during their lunch break. It took them nearly 67 years to complete, but it was truly a miracle by God. Every single thing you see here is carved by hand from salt. And not to mention, none of these miners have ever received a formal education in art. They simply follow the faith in their heart and made all of these possible. And not only can you see Jesus with its crystal saline heart, but you can also see important Bible pages documented down in a special crystal-like structure. If I were a little bit crass and have no restraint on my jokes, I would have probably called the dishes a little bit too salty. And take a look of these chandeliers. It may look like they are perfectly normal lights, but the shocking part is that all of these crystals are actually made of salt. It was a kind of salt called halite, which was extremely rare back in the days, so rare that it was only offered to the king himself as a kind of condiment. It is made of 99% perfectly aligned crystal salt, and that is why it can substitute even some of the best glass and crystal we have on offer. And thinking that it weighs almost a ton each makes me want to step away a little bit. But wait, if you think these chandeliers are cool, let me introduce you to the Goliath of all of the salt chandeliers in the world. This big boy features more than 4,000 crystals and is dangling from one of the highest shafts in the entire mine, supported by hundreds of beams of wood. And here is the crazy part. You can actually rent this entire room along with the chapel down beneath, so that you can get married with your significant other here in one of the coolest churches in the world. Here they have a facility for everything. Not only do they have a fully equipped kitchen, they also have an enormous reception hall that can cater to any of your wedding needs. Think about how many people you can invite to lick the walls together. Oh, so romantic. And the tour officially ended in the largest chamber in the entire mine. Besides the souvenir shop, another fascinating thing you can see here is that there's a separate walkway hidden near the top of this 10-floor tall chamber. This is where one of the Red Bull guys did one of the highest indoor bungee jumps in the entire world. Yes, he jumped from the top of the mine shaft and got stopped by a rubber band before he hit his head down here in the bottom. This is also the place where you see the sign that congratulates Wieliczka from being one of the very first UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the world. And it is made out of salt, of course. For most of the people, the tour ends here. But you know me as a savvy travel hacker, and there's a secret way to see 20 more extra rooms. What you need to do is line up at the museum line and simply wait for one of the authorized personnel to take you into a whole different wing of displays. And for me, it happened to be Samantha, my tour guide. And this free additional tag-on tour lasted for more than 1 hour. And more surprisingly, I was the only person during the entire process. So during this private tour, I got a lot of really interesting information that I would not have otherwise got from following a huge group of school children or couples on their honeymoon. And I even got to know Samantha pretty well.
Be born in the miner's family.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow, there's no... Okay, you know what?
Because every miner had his assigned working place at the mine, and later his son inherited it from him.
Wow. So you can technically become a miner.
No, because I'm a woman.
Wait, it's 21st century, it's still like that. So yeah, as you heard, she is the daughter of a long line of miners from back in the days. And the tradition only carries to their male heir, not to the females. But don't worry, later Samantha told me that she and her boyfriend met here in this very mine, and they are gonna get married very soon here in this mine as well. Hopefully in that gorgeous salt chapel. Now this is a better love story than Twilight if I've ever heard one, and I'll let her talk about her lineage and her future, perhaps a little miner that is about to arrive in this world, in this display room.
Over here, in this display case, you can see the miner's outfit. It changed slightly through ages, but the basic was the same, the black material and the gold buttons. Of course, the miners wear them during special occasions, yeah? For example, Feast of Saint King or Feast of Saint Barbara at work, they got dressed usual clothes. And please look at me. Our guys.
Oh, really?
It looks
Yeah.
like this one. It should be 29 gold battles because Saint Barbara, the patron of all miners, passed away at the age of 29. Orange because of the steel here, yeah?
Oh, so it's steel underneath.
Yeah.
That's wood
Here,
underneath.
you see?
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's orange here. And here it's white.
You can actually taste it?
Yeah, you can taste it.
You don't
because this is
damage it?
normal. No.
You don't damage it? Okay, I'll try it.
Every month the miners cut them.
Oh, really?
They're growing.
They grow
Yeah,
this fast?
yeah.
I thought it takes them like a years to
No.
grow. Oh, so like this
Yeah,
part is cut,
yeah.
right? Oh, can I bring some home? I'll help
And here
them.
there are salt stalactites.
Yeah, spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Yeah. That's why the miners use it, especially on the surface. It could hold up more or less 1 ton of salt at once.
Oh, this is big.
Yeah, and of course it was moved by horses. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
how-
almost every machine here downstairs.
How many horses does it need?
4 or 8. It depends.
That's crazy. This is really big, yeah.
Yeah.
I have no reference now.
Yeah, it's made of the wood because the salt preserves it. Yeah, that's why. Over there is the shaft.
Oh, so that's where they...
During the summertime, you can see the sunlight here, but I suppose that the miners close it because of the weather. Yeah, it's closed right now, but in the summer you can see the sun here.
How far away are we from the surface?
135 meters.
It goes straight up.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And as you have witnessed, the mine shaft used to go straight up and down for hundreds upon hundreds of meters, and that was way before the age of elevators. So the miners had to hold on to a rope for their dear life and slowly descend down the pit of darkness, a process that can sometimes last for more than half an hour. So they even have special songs they sing on the way down to keep themselves motivated. While the song is truly uplifting, I think something that is also more uplifting is the fact that these miners are incredibly rich. Because back in the days when salt is equal to its weight in gold, and every miner on their way back from the mine shaft can take as much salt as they can physically carry on their way back home, their positions are pretty much secured for life. And that is why the position of a miner could never exchange hands, but only pass down from father to son. However, near the end of the tour, I told Samantha to leave me alone for a little bit as I need to roam around the rooms a little bit more in order to get more footage for this very video. And quickly I realized I made a mistake. There were hundreds upon hundreds of rooms stacked on top of each other and connected through a series of slightly inclined slopes, so I had absolutely no idea where I was going. And I quickly got very lost, 500 feet underneath the surface of the earth. A lot of these rooms only had lights that react when you walk into the room, so it was pitch black no matter which direction I was looking at. Forget about looking for footage, I was looking for survival. And luckily, after 10 minutes of absolute darkness and a few of cries or whimpers of help that I totally do not admit that I am capable of making, Samantha came to my rescue and brought me to the elevator shaft that will bring me all the way up to the top. So we're 135, right?
Yeah, the deepest point which the tourists can visit here at the mine.
And then we take the workers' elevator.
Yeah, exactly. The miners' elevator, but we have to wait for it. If you hear 6 bells, it means that the elevator is going for us.
Okay.
Możemy czy nie? Get in, please.
Okay.
Dziękuję. Nie, randuskiej nie.
Oh, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Dzień dobry.
Jedziesz, Benek?
A pan jedzie, czy jedzie?
Tobą się boi. Aha.
It's like the tiniest elevator I've ever been. It's like 190 centimeters tall, right? Like, and it's like that's everyone. Oh, this is like pretty out there. Oh my god.
4 meters for 1 second.
Wow. What if we get stuck here? You try not to think about it.
No, don't think about it.
Oh my god. It's shaky. Oh my god.
Because it's empty.
Oh, okay. That helps a lot, right? Oh my. As tourists like lost things, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Wow, the tour is finally finished. And I just can't believe that. It's just such a gorgeous place. And at night, well, it's like 4 p.m. but like the sun just disappears awfully early here. But yeah, it's beautiful with the lights even on. And I got a private tour with Samantha, and she's really nice. You can see like her fiance works down there even deeper in the mine, and she gave me these free halides. You see, like these halides, they are salt crystals that they are used to make all of those chandeliers and everything. She said, yeah, you can take it. That's a reward of explore everything and try to do everything, because now I'm probably the last person in the entire compound. Like there's no one person left, and yeah, I got like the best experience ever. And technically, you know, they will close in another 2 hours or so, but yeah, all of the visitors they just come here, do the tour, and just say, yeah, no point of, you know, doing anything else. But actually during the museum, I get to see at least 20 extra rooms, and a lot of them are really just really impressive. And yeah, but that's all for the salt mines for today, and I really hope that you liked this video, because for me it's really enjoyable. Like Krakow is so beautiful, and here in Wieliczka it's definitely a different world. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next part. And indeed, it is time to see you in the next part in Germany. I have finished all of my adventure here in Poland, and I cannot say I am not missing it already. As I hopped onto the train heading to the airport, I know my next destination will be very different. And how different will that be? Well, you have to stay tuned for the next part. Thank you so much for watching, and if you can click the like button down there to make my day, I would really appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you want to follow me into the crazy realm of Germany. And I will see you in the next part.